Hello, hello. This is a video guide for the diagramming medial free modifiers assignment, which is just below this video in Schoology. So, what do you get? And once you open the Google Doc, you get an example, and then it looks like there are 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are, I don't know what, seven sentences. And things are going to work a little bit different in Google Doc only because it's not Nearpod Draw It. You can't draw very well in Google Docs, but it's still going to be good for what we need, especially from my perspective, where I can kind of look over your shoulder and be in the document with you at the same time. But some things do have to change. So let's just talk about that. In terms of the process, there's things we can still do. So you could still underline the base clause. You just got to use the underline tool once you've selected what you want underlined. You cannot put an S over the subject or a V over the verb anymore, but we can at least bold the subject and bold the verb just to make them stand out. You're not going to be able to circle marks of punctuation, so we're going to highlight them red. I think you'll see that in an example up above. It's tedious, but so is circling all the punctuation. You can still highlight free modifiers, so that's good. We're not going to be able to level the sentence on top, but I'll show you what I think might be the best thing for you to do to kind of replace this step. Can't draw arrows either. So you're gonna have to do some of this in your head, but once you like wrap your head around the concepts, I've seen in the past students just kind of start abandoning things like arrows because they just do it in their head. And then last but not least, you can still diagram the sentence, and it actually gets easier in Google Doc. I'll show you one example. So I won't read this one. You can use this one to lean on if you need. But it looks like I'm going to get rid of this and just kind of redo it. I can't believe I just, that's going to hurt. It was already done. I just deleted it. Anyway, so here in number 6, looks like you're already given the base clause. I'm just going to copy this whole sentence. I'm going to put it down here in this box for later. I'm going to get rid of all the formatting that goes along with it. So some of it's bold, some of it's underlined. So now it just looks like just a plain old sentence. So, but that's for later. So it looks like the minister, a feeble-looking man with white hair and blonde chin whiskers, took his seat beside the table and placed his Bible upon it. We've seen this one before. So base clause, here's our subject, it got bolded. Here's our verb. Actually, there's 2 verbs. He does 2 things in this case. He takes his seat and then he places his Bible on the table. Let's see what's next. Stepwise, highlighting, free modifiers. Okay, so yeah, this is a tedious piece right here, but so important because it's all about the marks of punctuation when it comes to like understanding how these sentences work. They function because of marks of punctuation. So here are all of them. And notice I'm just getting like just the marks of punctuation. That's it. I'm also not going to highlight the punctuation. I want it to stand out as much as possible. So it is a little tedious. You might miss a small piece and then have to reselect something like I just did. And in this case, it's a lot easier to see the free modifier and the base clause because there's only one base clause and only one free modifier here. But it looks like this is going to be a 1, 2/. Now this next step is for people who are not, they don't consider themselves to be very good typers. This is something that you can do. So you can be a copy and paste type person. So here's the beginning of the base clause. We've already established that. I'm just going to cut it. Control X will cut it. Control V will paste it. It looks like this goes comma, slash, comma. I already got the comma, so we just need the slash and the comma. And look at this second comma actually technically goes with this free modifier right here. So this is part of the reason why there's not going to be a comma in the free modifier itself. So I'm going to, just because this is in order, I'm just going to cut this piece. We get a feeble looking man with blonde hair and, white hair and blonde chin whiskers. And then last but not least, you could cut it or you could just move it up there if you needed to. Obviously I need a little space in there, but I don't know if that takes any less time. Not for me, probably. I'm a decent typer. So, and then I'm just gonna clean up this box so it doesn't take up as much space. But as far as I can tell, and that's the first time I've ever done that way, that's what you get. The other nice thing about Google Doc and the reason why we're using it, despite its limitations, is because, here they are. A lot of these come with a link. So for instance, in number 9, if you were working with number 9 and you wanted to kind of check yourself, number 9 comes along with a video on YouTube. So this is a former student. You can see it was done back in 2018. 56 people have already viewed this one. And I don't know why they're doing the steps in this order, but you can see, I think they're just getting the pencil out of the way so that the watcher can see, because they can do this much faster. But if you said to yourself, well, I don't need to watch this entire process for 4.5 minutes, you could just, work your way toward the end of the video and maybe even pause it. And now what you have in front of you is an example that you can kind of take back and be like, is that right? Is that what I got? Is that what I got? So that's the other nice thing about Google Docs. Number 9 comes with a video, 8, 10, 11, 12, they all come with videos. I'm not saying those videos are like exactly perfect, but they're really darn good. So you can rely on them for help or just to check yourself. So I timed myself. This took me 6 minutes in its entirety with talking, and I talk too much. So you can probably do it much faster than that. And I probably could have done it faster just by typing. Anyway, that's the Medial Modifiers Google Doc assignment. That's all I have to say about that.